Welcome back, everyone. The OnePlus 8 was actually a phone that OnePlus pushed out last year, and I can tell you it was probably one of the best last phones OnePlus has made, and it kind of showcased the demise of this specific company. I think the OnePlus 8, besides the OnePlus 7 Pro, was one of the best phones ever made, but now we look at OnePlus and it's kind of a sad thing, to be honest. So we're just going to go ahead and take a look at this thing. Nothing crazy has changed. It's going to be getting Android 12, but I think for sure this is one of the best devices OnePlus ever made. And this isn't even the Pro model, this is that standard model. And it had a 6.55-inch beautiful fluid AMOLED display. It was a 90Hz panel. Although it was only Full HD 1080p, it was still a really good panel, and I was a huge fan of this specific device for sure. Now on the bottom you had a USB Type-C port, which is typical, but you had that hole punch display and a curved panel, which made this thing feel so premium, and I was so happy with this device for sure. Now on the back you had that standard glass back, which also looked pretty good. I didn't have too many complaints about it. You didn't have wireless charging apparently, but you did have a really good feeling body, which I was really happy about. And you also had that dual camera setup as well, which was kind of like a triple camera setup, but it was mostly like a dual camera setup. You had a wide, ultra wide, and then a macro lens. Now you could do 4K at 60 on the back of this phone, but you could only do 1080p at 30, and that was another kind of disadvantage with this specific device. I wish we could have gotten a step up and maybe gotten something a little bit better than that, but again, what are you going to do? There's really not much we can do in this specific situation, but I would have loved to have seen some type of improvement there. Now the software is probably one of the biggest differences that are, going from one generation to the other, because now we're kind of stuck in a situation where OnePlus's software is only going to be, going down in value, mostly because it's not going to be that stock Android that we loved, or maybe it will be, we really don't even know, but it's not going to be as great of an experience as it was before. So that's kind of a huge downgrade, considering the fact that the OnePlus, software Oxygen OS was one of the best features of that specific phone, and you can tell that is not really the case anymore. So that's kind of a sad thing too, but again, what are we going to do about it? There's not much we can do. But the performance of this phone was still really good. You had that Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 5G chipset, which was one of the main chipsets of last year. But we also had a couple different RAM models. We had 6 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of RAM, and 12 gigs of RAM, which is a lot of RAM to have on a phone, but the more the merrier. And with a phone like this, like I mentioned, it's still a very good performing phone. There's not much to hate on here. Of course, it's not perfect, but I think it's good enough for a lot of people. And I definitely do think if you're trying to go from point A to point B, this is a very solid performing phone. Like I mentioned, it's not perfect, but it gets the job done. And I think since then, it's only gotten better. I'm just waiting until that next version of software comes out, because once that comes out, it's really only going to be downhill from there, to be honest. I think this phone had a lot of character within it, but I do think it's kind of like ended short in a way because of the software experience. That is the number one thing you're going to be interacting with on a daily basis, and if that's not a good experience, you're going to have a very wishy-washy type of experience with this type of phone, because the build quality is great. It's missing out on some things like 4K at 60 on the front and reverse wireless charging, even wireless charging, but it's still a pretty decent phone, and with this price tag, you know what you're getting. I just wish, OnePlus kind of took a step back and improved the experience overall, but without a doubt, I think the OnePlus 8 is still a good phone. It's just the software is just a very strange experience for sure. So in terms of that pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.